Hi, I'm Bernie. I'm here today to show you our Shape Creator tool. This is an absolutely amazing product. It's so big, it's versatile, you can make so many shapes from it. You can even make circles. Look at this. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to cut strips. I've got a piece of fabric here that's cut straight from the roll to the fabric. And what we're going to do is we're going to place it, fold it in half and just line up the fold of the fabric up with your self edge. So you've got it nice and flat. So then we're going to put it on our cutting board and we're going to place the Shape Creator on the top. So the Shape Creator actually has a grid, so it goes from 0 to 16 along the bottom and 0 to 12 up the side. If you actually pick it up the other way, the numbers run the other way as well, so you'll never get confused. The other thing you'll notice is there's a lot of text down the left and right hand side. These are the cutting instructions for all the things that this ruler can do and more. So you don't need to worry about putting that packaging away and trying to look for it. You've got it right here. So let's cut some strips. So first of all, you're going to line up the fold of your fabric onto one of the horizontal lines. You can put it onto the bottom one if you've got a wider piece of fabric. And then we're going to take our rotary cutter. Today I'm going to use the 28mm, but you can also use the 45. So once you're lined up, we're going to cut off this rough edge at the side. And that makes a flush start. So we're now going to cut our strips. So let's cut 2.5 inch strips. So we're going to cut along 1, 2, 2.5 and just cut up. And then we're going to again to cut up. So if we take that out, we'll see what we've got. And we've got perfect 2.5 inch strips. So for all that binding you're going to do, how many strips can you cut at once for whatever width? So as well as cutting your straight strips, you can also cut your bias strips. So you're going to take a square of fabric and just fold it over to make a triangle. And then you're going to lay that onto your cutting mat. Now I'm using our A2 folding cutting mat here, but if you only have an A3 mat, don't worry, because you can still get the ruler on there to cut. So we're now going to place our Shape Creator and we're going to line up the fold of the fabric with one of the horizontal lines on the ruler. And also you'll see that we've got crossed lines on here, so we've got a 45-degree line and we have a 60-degree line. So for bias we want to cut on a 45-degree angle. So we're going to move the ruler up so the 45-degree line is on the edge. So then we're going to take our cutter. So we're going to start and we're going to cut. So this time we'll cut 2 inch strips. So you just work your way along and then let's see what we've got. Perfect stretchy bias strips. So the next thing we're going to cut is squares. So you're going to get a strip of fabric. I'm going to fold it over so it fits nicely onto my mat. And again, place the Shape Creator on top. Line up your fabric with one of the horizontal lines. And also line it up to the first line, which is the 0 line, just to neaten up that first edge. So we're going to cut the end off. And then we're going to cut to get our squares. And then we had 4 layers of fabric. So we've got 8 squares in 2 cuts. How quick is that? So now we've cut our squares, how about making them into half square triangles? So we've got 2 of our squares here. You can comfortably cut up to 4, but if you want to try a few more, once you get experience, go for it. So we're going to place our square on point. And then we're just going to take any of the channel cut lines, doesn't matter which one, but what you're going to do is you're going to line it up so the point, opposite points line up along that cut line. Then you're going to take your rotary cutter, like you say, you can use the 28 or the 45mm, and you're just going to cut straight up the top, and we've now got 4 half square triangles. So we've got half square triangles, how about quarter square triangles? So take your half square triangle, place your shape creator over the top, line up the bottom of the triangle along any of the horizontal lines, but make sure the tip of your triangle is just on that channel. And then you're going to cut up the middle. And then we have quarter square triangles. Perfect. The other thing we can cut with these is diamonds. Let's cut some 45-degree ones. So you're going to get your strip of fabric, and this time we're going to use our mat. So on the mat we've got our 45-degree line. So you're going to place your fabric on the 45-degree line. Then you're going to take your shape creator and you're going to line that up. And the shape creator also has a 45-degree line which you can line up on top as well. And then what you're going to do is cut the equal distance to what you cut your strip. So this strip I've cut at 2.5 inches. So we're going to cut 2.5 inch increments. So let's cut these. So 1, 2.5. 1, 2.5. And there we have 45-degree diamonds. So how about 60-degree diamonds? I've got a strip here. Now this time we're going to use the ruler, not the mat. So we lay it on an angle. And then on the ruler we have the 60-degree line, and this is what we want to line up with the fabric. So you can see there I've just lined that up along there. You could put it the other side, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now we're going to cut, so a 2-inch strip, so again I'm going to now cut 2 inches the other way. So we've got our first one, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And you can work all the way along and cut multiples out at a time. So now we have perfect 60-degree triangles. So the other thing you can make on here is hexagons. So we've cut those 60-degree diamonds. Let's use them and cut them up. So you're going to place your diamonds horizontally on your cutting mat. Take your shape creator and then you're going to line it up so the horizontal line goes along point to point. Okay? And also the point of the top and the bottom runs through one of your channel cut lines. So let's cut that. And there is our perfect hexagon. So earlier we saw that circle cushion, this one here. All of this cushion was actually made with this shape creator. So let's see how you can cut circles. So on each corner of the shape creator there's a different size. So we have a 1-inch circle edge, 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch. So let's cut one and see how you do it. So you're going to take your fabric and you're going to fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And just get a nice crisp edge so they meet. And this time we're going to cut the 4-inch circle. But I'm left-handed, so you need to position it round. So all you're going to do is turn your mat round so you're in a comfortable position to cut, remembering you're always going to cut away from you. So we're going to have it positioned there. And we've got the marks on here that make a quarter circle. And these lines here are what we're going to line up with the fabric. So you're going to place your fabric underneath, and you're just going to line that up. And this is where your smaller rotary cutter comes in. So the 45 you can use on the larger ones, but ideally for the circles, use the 28mm. So you're just going to cut around the edge. You're going to make the perfect circle. So now let's cut the smallest one, the 1 inch. So again, we're going to turn our mat around so it's comfortable for us to cut. So this is the 1 inch circle. So we're going to take a piece of fabric. I also like to put mine a little bit bigger, just so you've got a little bit of wiggle room. But remember, all these scraps you're going to use up. You're not going to throw them away. So we're folding our fabric in like we did before, get a crisp edge, and then we're just going to line that up under that mark. And then again, we're going to cut. And we get our little circle. So let's look at a few samples. So we've got here this table runner. This one we've used strips, cut it on the 45-degree angle. We've used it to make our bias binding as well. All can be made with the Shape Creator. Remember, we cut the triangles? So this quilt here we've made with the triangles. We've actually made flying geese units from half square triangles and quarter square triangles. Again, all the strips were cut around the outside for the border and the binding. And then we had those diamonds. Look at this cushion. Absolutely fantastic. You can see how big a diamond you can cut. And lastly, those circles. These are my favourite. So we've even rounded off the corners. So no poking out of those corners when you're making a cushion. Round them off with your Shape Creator. So that's our Shape Creator. Just a quick recap. Huge grid on there. 12 inches one way by 16 inches the other way. You've got all the instructions down both sides. So if you've thrown that packaging away, you don't need to worry. You've got them there to follow. You've got all of your angle lines on there. The grid lines. Absolutely fantastic product. What did we make with it? So we made our strips. We made our bias strips. We made our squares. We cut the squares into half square triangles. We then cut them into quarter square triangles. We then made 45-degree diamonds, 60-degree diamonds. We turned them into hexagons. And then don't forget those circles. Head on over to our website for more details.